Hello there. Welcome to the new moon, super new moon in Pisces. And I've got a little kitty sleeping beside me over here. You might hear her. um, Boy, the energy's been really intense. I'm sure you're feeling it. Maybe you're insomniac, maybe you're dreaming more, maybe you're just feeling generally like something's changing underneath our feet. I'm definitely feeling this. And a lot of other astrologers are as well. So I did a video that you might want to watch a couple days ago on the astrology of a new world. So I'll talk about some of that again, but I won't go in as much depth as that video. So you're going to want to go and watch that one, and I will make sure that it links to that one right after this one is done. Also, I'm going to have a course running this Thursday on the astrology of the new world, where we're going to dive even deeper into what these planetary movements are going to mean for us. And we're going to take a look at your personal chart if you sign up. So then you'll get advice from me on where these planets are going to hit your particular chart, and some coaching, on how to orient yourself during this next chapter. And I'm not going to focus on huge long-term Pluto 20 years from now. It's too much. It's too big. What we're going to do is take a look at the next 3 months when Pluto makes a little appetizer into Aquarius. So it's going to be there from March 25th to June 11th. And then it's going to go back into Capricorn all the way till next January. Next January is when we kick off. Pluto in Aquarius, January 20th, 2024. And it's going to like retrograde just slightly a little bit next year, but just like a couple months. So pretty much from 2024 to 2043. Yeah, that's why it's big. We have to understand what the heck is Pluto and Aquarius going to do for society. What's it going to do in your chart? It's a long, wherever Aquarius is in your chart, it's going to be highlighted for 20 years. So you might want to know where it is, what's going on, right? You might want to just prepare for the marathon and go, all right, so 20 years it's going to be going through maybe my house of relationships. Yikes. What's that mean? 20 years it's going to be going through my career house. What's that mean? So you want to know. So that's what we're going to delve into more in the course on Thursday night. So that's the 23rd, 7 till 9:30. I'm cutting it off like once I get to 10 people so that everybody has enough time. Obviously, if more than 10 people suddenly show up, I'll create a second one so that you can do it too. But I just want to keep the groups a little smaller so we can actually give everybody a little bit of time. Second thing is going to be the movement of Pisces, Saturn into Pisces instead of Aquarius. So Saturn lasts 2.5 or 3 years, excuse me. And it's another thing where, again, it's like another chapter, a longer term chapter that you're going to want to know. Where's Saturn in my chart? What the heck's going to happen to, during that period? Now, the thing that's interesting is wherever Saturn just went through Aquarius, you had a taste of what's going to come with Pluto. It's just Pluto's going to rock and roll it, and it's going to make it more liberating, explosive, intense, changeable, revolutionary, more than Saturn. But still, Saturn was going through Aquarius too. So you've already had a little hint of what themes are around for the last 2.5 years. Now Saturn's going to go into Pisces. It's going to change everything up quite a bit. And Mars is finally going to leave Gemini at the end of March. So March 23rd, I believe, or 25th, finally, we get Mars moving into Cancer for a couple of months. So this is what we're going to be looking at, is what's the spring going to look like for us based on all this motion into water. watery planets instead of air. And then Pluto, the revolutionary society, huge game-changing planet. We're going to see what's going on. For now, though, let's just look at our new moon and see what that looks like for now. But if you want to sign up for my workshop, you can message me below here. You can reach me at my email, river.rain.info@gmail.com. If you follow me on Facebook, that'd be good. If you follow me here, that'd be good. But if you follow Facebook, you'll see the event and you can join the course. So please let me know. I will need to have your birthday the day before, so you got to sign up by Wednesday so that I can do the birth charts before the workshop starts. All right. So let's begin and take a look at the new moon chart. I also said I was going to go live. I lied. Well, I didn't lie. I couldn't figure out how to set up these programs. Ugh. There's a lot of programs out there that you can do what I'm doing now here in Zoom. It's just Zoom, I already have it. So it's just that I have to pre-record it and upload it. I was hoping to be able to do it live, and there are programs, but they're also like a few $100, and I'm being cheap right now. Yeah. So, I would love to have some of these programs so that I can do the lives with, an integrated camera like this, but hey, I've already got it on Zoom right now with you. So I'm just going to keep it as it is. So I'm sorry, I wanted to have this uploaded sooner than it turned out to be today, because I was niggling around, figuring out what to do, trying to figure out if I could figure out these programs or buy these programs or not. So anyway, that's my little business. Anyway, so take a look at this chart. Look at this. Every time you can see how different the chart is, right? Do you remember the last one we looked at? How it was just like everywhere. This one is like bottom heavy. Everything's at the bottom. So what's that mean? Well, if you've been listening over the course of my videos for a while, every so often I do mention what that means. This is the horizon line right here. This is the rising sign. If this is for North America in the Eastern time zone. So it's a Pisces moon with a Sagittarius rising. This is the horizon line. This is the degree and the sign that was on the horizon at the time of the new moon. That's how it works. So, and it's not quite the new moon, by the way. It's 2 in the morning. So you are getting this video before the new moon happens. It's just a little late. Now, this is the horizon line. Also on the horizon line, we have Mars and Gemini right there on the relationship angle. And that's about the only planet that we've got above the horizon is Mars and Gemini. Everything else is down here, meaning it's not very conscious. It's sort of operating in the background on the autopilot. It's not so awake and aware of itself. So we might be feeling that way too. Maybe that's why we're restless and dreaming or can't sleep. Why we have cabin fever all of a sudden. Because there's just a lot going on in the background, and it's Pisces planet, so it tends to be a little out of focus and dreamy or imaginative, spiritual, ethereal, intuitive anyway. It's not so like literal minded, and it's like what oh, and it's in the background, and it's like back of the mind anyway. So a very intuitive moon, because Pisces moon is always so psychic. Pisces moons, people born with the moon in Pisces that I've known are always very psychic. They don't have to try. They just are. So when you've got the sun and the moon, and you got Saturn sitting right there too, but it's in Aquarius, but it's right beside it. It's 2 degrees beside it. You've got Neptune in Pisces, 24 degrees. And you got Venus in Pisces, 29 degrees. That's a lot of Pisces. So you might be running any range of the spectrum of Pisces energies. You might feel like listening to music and chilling out. You might want to just be reading poetry, playing your guitar, chilling out on video games, escaping. Some of you might be wanting to drink or smoke or do something else just because you just want to escape. Pisces wants to live in a different universe where things are gentler, where things feel like they're more connected in one, where there aren't all these separations and, you know, rules and laws and categories and just dissecting everything. Can't stand that. So if you want to live in this feeling of oneness, a lot of people are going to turn to the arts, to spirituality, or to addictions to sort of zone out of that, of this world, of the rest of it, of the politics, of the division, of the hard work, and just sort of like there's something higher. There's a collective feeling that we all share. We're all on the same planet, as far as I know. So we're all one somehow. And that is the lesson that we are coming into with Saturn and Pisces. So with all of these Pisces planets right now, you might be feeling it, that one love, you know, one light. You might be feeling that. You might be craving that. If you don't have it, you might really be craving a sense of that. So you might be really wanting to commune. You might be wanting to go deeper and bond with people. You might be also, because of that, Pisces is usually very like, oh yeah, they're just being them. You know, I accept them as they are. Kind of, yeah, the person is just, you do you, like they just want to do that. So let them do it. Oh well, so what? They're just very accepting. They see it. They don't have to judge it. They're just observing it and allowing it to be. That's a very Pisces thing that's going on. Saturn in Pisces is going to challenge us to learn to do that. To see, to accept, to allow. To have compassion for people. Sometimes Pisces will go like into pity, you know. Sometimes Pisces will go into like really martyr type energy, like victim, very victim-y. That's the shadow. So that's another thing that's in the air, especially when the planets are like crunched right at the bottom of the barrel. Unconscious energy can bring up anything that you are suppressing, anything that other people are suppressing. So what are you suppressing? You know, some people suppress their loving side, sadly. Some people suppress their creativity. In fact, plenty of people do. Plenty of people suppress their intuition and their spiritual side. And plenty of people suppress their higher-minded, more idealist thoughts, because we're in a very cynical world where you could be, you know, you feel like you could be eaten alive for saying anything positive sometimes. You know, you feel like you look stupid or something. So Pisces would just rather go off and into a different zone, into a different world where it's peaceful, and try to connect over there. So there's a lot of beautiful connection that can happen under this new moon. There's a lot of creative inspiration that could happen under this new moon. There's a lot of intense dreams, psychic abilities, intuitive experiences. Hopefully you'll write to me and tell me that your intuition is more on than usual because of all of this emphasis. And hopefully you won't write to me and say, oh yeah, I'm surrounded by people who are just feeling sorry for themselves all the time and who are victims. Because it's all of the above. And because it's a cluster, look at this. It's not too far from Jupiter and Chiron and Aries either. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets all at the bottom. So we call that a stellium. So Just like anything else, if you imagine like that there were 7 cars parked in the same area, it's a cluster. It's a stellium. They're all emphasizing a certain placement, a certain point on the, and that's what this is doing too. So we still have Mercury over here in Aquarius, giving us some logic and detachment and analysis. And so that might help you get some clarity versus complete brain fuzz, or just intuiting everything and be like, you know, people that intuit things versus like logic, they just go, I don't know, I just know. Well, how do you know? I don't know. Just feel it. People get so annoyed, right? Because a lot of the time we don't have the language for our intuitive side. A lot of us don't break it down and go, oh, right, I heard a word in my head, and then that just gave me this feeling that I should trust this answer, and so I did. Instead of like, I don't know, I just did it that way, right? So Pisces is very much like that. It doesn't break things down. It doesn't always have the language to describe. It just feels it and does it, and often so intuitively and in flow, and they can't explain why. And people that are very logic-minded, like Aquarian, annoyed by that, you know. So that's another thing that's in the air, perhaps. Although Mercury is making a square here over to Uranus. So there could be a little bit of friction if you don't want, you know, these two signs would argue with each other for sure. Both stubborn. So you might be sitting back watching other people argue. The Pisces thing is really like just watching the show. Not worth it. Not worth getting involved in the argument, you know, or just like, I don't know, creative endeavors. Like, yeah, I'm not going to show you my place, but I just bought fabric today and I whipped up some curtains in about 20 minutes. It's very Pisces kind of thing, you know. Just walked into the Salvation Army, went, I don't know why, I just got to check it, and went straight for the section and found 3 things that matched what I wanted and bought them and whipped them up without planning it, without looking at a book, without measuring. It's another Piscean kind of cluster thing to do. Just winging it. Just somehow it works. You wing it. You can do it. So you might be doing that too, or notice other people doing it. And then other people, you know, like the Mercury and Uranus might get into a bit of an argument. But there's so much Piscean energy, like you might not care. The other thing too is Mercury is supported by Gemini Mars here, which we said is the only planet above the horizon. So Mars and Gemini in the 7th house is all about, you know, meeting people, networking. Also, Mars in the 7th house, I wouldn't love if that was in my own chart, because I would expect that to bring some arguing, aggression, and a sneakiness, you know, when it's in Gemini, sort of like a two-facedness to relationships. So some of you might be going through that, but this Mercury is trine that Mars, so maybe it's right on top of it. Maybe you can call it out. And with all of the planets in Pisces, maybe you just get an intuition about it. Maybe without saying anything, you're like, all of a sudden, somebody you thought was great at work, maybe you're like, I don't know why, but I suddenly don't trust you. And it'll be all intuitive. You won't have any reason or proof yet. Don't think that you're wrong. Just make a note of it. Don't go accusing people or anything, but make a note. Sudden intuition about this. Let's see if this lasts. Let's observe. See if you're right. So you might be getting some intuitions about your relationships because of this. Now, the only other thing here is we've got Mars squaring off with Neptune, which is not nice. Again, it's a deceptive aspect. It's like a self-sabotage aspect. So the only thing I'm going to tell you about this new moon is just You know, if something or someone seems a little too shiny to be true, you might want to question that, because there's this very charming yet very potentially duplicitous kind of energy. Somebody could really pull the wool over you or bamboozle you with those planets. Now, how do you get around that? Well, you relax and you trust your gut. Like I said, you might not have proof. You might not want to call it out and start an argument. It's an undercurrent. Intuition's a funny thing, right? Sometimes you just wake up and you feel different. The world suddenly feels different. Well, you didn't do anything. You can check the news if you want. You can check the planets if you want. But in some ways, who knows why? Who knows why? But you wake up and something feels like it's not the same. And you got to trust those instincts and adapt yourself and try not to get too micromanagey or upset about it. You know, that's for Mercury and Uranus and Taurus to get all upset about and argue. But you don't have to. So the other thing that we've got here, the South Node is also above the horizon, but South Node is in Scorpio, so it's already, very deep, very subdued. And it's also the South Node. It's not where we're going, it's where we've come from. It's the past life. So the past life direction in Scorpio in the 11th house, that would mean many, many lives of belonging to clandestine or taboo type of groups and communities. Yeah, it would mean like maybe you've belonged to secret societies. Maybe you were part of some druidic order or cult. Maybe some sort of secret handshake type of place, because it's in the house of communities. It's covert Scorpio. And it's your past life. So how the heck does that factor in? Because it's making a trine over here to Saturn, Sun, and New Moon in the 3rd house. Well, the 3rd house is about your communities. So still your communities and groups. But the 3rd house isn't covert. Pisces could have you, saying hi to all the neighbors right now. You might have some sort of block party if you've got good neighbors. You might be going out, getting out the door, talking to people more. You might be hearing all the gossip about things, running into people all the time. So this covert feeling here, again, Mars is in Gemini. Careful of all the gossipy stuff, the rumor mill, square Neptune. It's fun to socialize and bond, but like, did you hear? And then how fast that gets around. So that's another aspect that could be going on this new moon too. Rumors. Careful what you hear. Always take note of what your gut is telling you if you hear a rumor, because you haven't heard both sides and you probably weren't there. Now, as you see, Pluto is perched here, 29 degrees. 29 degrees is a significant degree. Whenever a planet reaches 29, we expect some catalytic action to happen. So it's not aspecting anything really. It's making a positive aspect here over to Venus and Neptune. Pretty peaceful. It's not making any squares. But look at this dotted line. This is called the quincunx, 150 degrees. Yeah, to Mars. Yeah. That's sort of like, when you need to oil your bike and it goes, grind. So Pluto is like, explosive, powerful. Mars, even though it's in Gemini, going, right now, you know, it's still Mars. It's still like planet of war, action. And it's going grinding Pluto, grinding Pluto, grinding Pluto. So what I would expect with that would be something where there's a lot of like hissy, whiny, naggy kind of energy. Could be a group that won't shut up and keeps bothering somebody. Could be disgruntled employees that they won't take a stand quite, but they'll complain really hard and they'll bother the boss. It could be some sort of fly in your bonnet, as they say. You know, annoying. Something annoying. Now, when that comes right before Pluto going into Aquarius, maybe it's the rumblings of a bigger change that will come down the road, where there will be action, where there will be decisions and people stepping up. But for now, it might just be the rumbling of the revolution, you know? And it can be a private revolution or it could be something bigger that we see in the news. We're not sure. So such a different chart, isn't it? If you look back 2 weeks ago at what I said compared to what's going on now, it feels like, what? What happened? It feels we're walking into a different world. All right, let's take a look at the tarot now. All righty. And you know, I think we need to burn some sage, don't you? I do. Whenever I go back to burning more sage, I know that something is up because if I feel compelled to cleanse more often, energies are being awakened, you know? So here we go. You can just imagine that you've got this nice sage around you as well. Just going to cleanse the cards too. We want a nice clean reading. There we go. Now put it out so we don't have like room full of smoke. Okay, let's take a look at the cards for this new moon. All right, our first card is Temperance, or the Witch, the art card. So this is the card of mixing and alchemy. Everything in its time, everything in its correct proportion at the right timing. And if you mix well, you'll have a beautiful result. You'll have something magical, something, a potion or a wonderful meal or a wonderful set of circumstances. So everything right now is about timing, divine timing, yours, other people's, and a timing that's higher than our own. People hate that card because it means you don't have control. You have to trust that there's a higher timing than your own right now. Something that you want badly, you think that you're not getting it because you want it. Why isn't it happening for me? There's your timing. There's the people that involves and their timing. Maybe there's spaces or buildings or things going on with the land, things going on spiritually that are bigger than you that have to line up. Prince of Wands. So we have somebody very confident, very bold, and I'm hearing very mouthy for some reason. This guy has a big mouth and he won't stop talking, or he won't stop bragging or self-promoting or whatever. So I get a feeling this guy he's pretty good at what he does, but he's also exaggerating and inflating himself a bit. And the tower falls. So this person, I would say, is going to get their comeuppance. They're going to get caught in something that they're trying to do, or exaggerate, or blow out of proportion, or whatever it is. There's a bit of a, you know, putting on a front, selling us something. I get a feeling they're going to get caught or exposed. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Venus in Aries here, the Four of Wands. Completion. Well, yeah. That would tell me, like, unless you're this one who's, you know, bragging and stuff and falling from your tower, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Protect yourself, protect your circle. Think of it's a good healthy thing to think of yourself right now. Venus in Aries, it's good. Be concerned with your role and your life and your business. Yeah, it's sort of a weird reading. Anyway, whoever this guy is, or this person, they're going to sort of hang themselves with their own behavior. So stay out of it. All right. Happiness, nice. 9 of Cups. There's something very nice coming up, celebratory, creative. This is Pisces card again. Jupiter and Pisces, lots of people and fun and playfulness and creativity and celebration coming together. This is like happier times coming. Very nice. Very nice. 8 of Swords. So 8 of Swords is overanalyzing everything, overthinking everything. Is it possible you're having trouble just letting yourself be and play and zone out? Are you having trouble stopping overthinking everything? Are you analyzing everything to death? Because this card means you are. This card means, like, there's no other way you can splice this in half. You'll never get your answer through your mind alone. That's why the card looks like so painful. Because it's asking, but oh, maybe that, or maybe that, or maybe that, or maybe, but what if, and maybe that. And then you just can't stop yourself. And you just get all messed up in your head, and you can't see straight because you're just flooded with too many things. And now you've confused yourself. So those last 2 cards were like, just center yourself, let yourself go out and have some fun. Stop overthinking. I need that advice too, by the way. Ah, nice. 2 of Swords, peace. So focus on that. Focus on what's peaceful for you and for others. Put energy into focusing on what creates peace. Well, we've got the Tower and the Death card in this reading. Now, I'm sure those of you who follow me know that doesn't happen much. Something big is coming around this new moon. And it's not bad, but something has to fall apart or crumble, like the Tower. Something has to leave, something has to die, something has to be done, something has to be exposed. But, you know, the Death card means, like, this reversal is for the better. Whatever is lost, it's for the better. Because something always better comes in its place with the Death card. But it's just a bit shocking at first. It's just so funny, all of this focus on, like, try not to think so much and create some peace and some fun, and then Death card, you know? So let's see what our last card is. And we have the 10 of Swords. So something, yeah, I'm going to say that if you allow yourself to relax and have some fun and raise your energy and stop the fear cycle and the overanalyzing cycle, you're probably going to have a moment where you really deeply let go of some old pattern or a scenario or a relationship that just isn't working, hasn't been working for a long time. And I'm going to pull one more card because I don't like leaving off on that. Heavy cards here. All right. I pulled 3 more actually. 7 of Cups, Prince of Cups, and the Chariot. Somebody with toxic energy around you that needs some firm boundaries or discipline. This would be more a person who's very wishy-washy, can't commit to things. It's a toxic personality that you're probably coming to terms with that 10 of Swords and letting go. And then we have the Fool. We have a new chapter. Okay, there's somebody, the overall message is there's somebody that we collectively, so it could be a public figure or it could be you in your personal life, there's someone you're about to see through. And very likely it might be upsetting when you see through them. And I would say they probably need to go. And then you start a fresh chapter. So you might expect something like that around the new moon. Yikes, eh? How very Mars and Gemini, though. How very Mars and Gemini squaring Neptune. Be very careful of charmers right now. Very careful if you're dating. Seriously. Don't go for any scams or get rich quick stuff. Don't be careful of fake profilers and catfishing, and if it's people you already know and you're never quite sure about them, you might be about to see through them clearly. So let's take a look at messages for your sign. All right, so how can we frame this? Okay, I'm getting a message to ask, for each sign, we're going to ask, do you chill or do you be careful? That's so funny. That's what I'm hearing. Chill or be careful. Which do you need to do? All right. Okay, Aries, do you need to chill out or do you need to be careful right now? All right. Ace of Wands for Aries. How very Aries is that? Do you need to chill or be careful? You need to actually kick into action. I don't think you need to be careful so much. I think you need to stay busy. And by staying busy, you're going to ward off anything or it's going to just take care of the problem for you if you're busy. That's the message I get. Wow. Taurus, do you need to chill out or be careful? 10 of Cups, you need to be careful. This is definitely sometimes a chilling out card, but this is sort of more like a too tired and burnt out kind of card. So, but this is like a foggy brain kind of card where you can't quite see clearly. You're burnt out and tired and spaced out and you can't see clearly. So yeah, you might need to chill out and rest, but you should also be a little careful of your perceptions as well. Take your time right now. Don't jump into anything or trust anything blindly. Geminis, do you need to chill out or be careful? King of Wands. That would tell me probably being a bit careful, but not really, not getting that bad a feeling. Again, you need to stay in charge. This guy is taking charge. He's more the dominant. He's the one driving where he wants things to go. So I would say you need to be in the leadership position in your life, taking charge of things. And that will also avert any of these weird, murky kind of people or dynamics that are coming all around us. So if you maintain your authority and your take charge attitude, I think you'll see more clearly if something isn't quite right with somebody or a situation, so you can handle it sooner. Cancer, do you need to chill out or be careful? Cancer, you need to chill out big time. Two of Cups, you need to rest. This is lovely. You've got like beautiful love card here, lovey-dovey, partnership, closeness, bonding, affection. I would say you need to relax and chill out. I think you already know who you can trust. So it would be lovely if you could relax and let yourself just enjoy the nice watery sign moments that are happening right now. Just, we're going to feel a little bit better with all the water planets after all this air. We're going to be relieved. Leos, do you need to chill or be careful? And Leo also needs to chill out. Six of Cups, pleasure. Yeah, you need to relax. You need to just play your music or watch your movies or go for a walk or play with your dog or do whatever you do. Yeah, and it might involve other people. Like, it's not necessarily going off and chilling out alone. And pleasure card, I mean, go out to eat with your friends, you know, get a massage, go on a hike together with a bunch of buddies. I don't care. Just do something pleasurable. It's definitely a chilling out kind of card for you. Very nice new moon for you. All right, Virgos, chill out or be careful? Careful. Careful, Virgo. Two of Wands, you could get into some nasty arguments right now. Pick your battles wisely. This could get nasty. This could get really heated. So I'm not going to tell you need to chill out, because that just sounds very patronizing, as if what you're upset about isn't being taken seriously, which is not the case. This is more be careful in terms of like, you don't know what fish you're frying. You know, careful who you're taking on with what you say, because it could escalate into something bigger than you thought it would. So that would be the thing. Libras, chill out or be careful? You need to chill out. The Empress is very comfortable there on her throne with her little animals and her plants, and very nice nurturing watery colors, and the moons around her and the light around her. So you need to have your little protective bubble and relax, and only with like your nearest and dearest right now. And don't worry too much about taking on the weight of the world. Scorpios, chill out or be careful? This would be more about being careful. This is a card of like walking away from things. Deciding to call it a day. Something isn't worth it. So this is an interesting card. Doesn't feel like there's danger in any way, like be careful that way. It's more like you see through something and you don't approve, you don't like it. And so you're just going to walk away from it, that it's not worth it anymore. So it's not really a careful, because, but it's not chilling out either. You have to, you're going to step away from something. I don't know whether it's a person or a group, something you said you would do that you don't want to do, or you see it's all turning into chaos and BS. You're going to be like, oh no, I'm out of here. Sagittarius, chill or be careful? It's careful. This is the worry card. Sometimes it's a card of, you know, financial worries as well, or things being a bit tight. So definitely don't go into this free-for-all, oh, well, it'll work out, you know, with your money right now. If you're worrying about a lot of things, then you need to relax. You need to take a step back and figure out what the root of these worries is about. It doesn't mean that you actually have any major reasons to worry. Only one would be, like I said, financially. Just plan things out. All right, Capricorn, chill out or be careful. Well, this isn't quite chilling out because Eight of Pentacles likes to get a lot of work done, but it gets it done sort of slowly and steadily. It's taking its time. So that for a Capricorn would be a chill out because you won't stop working and being productive. So it's more like just let it take a little bit longer than you thought. Enjoy your process of whatever you're getting done. Don't be in such a hurry. You don't need to be in a hurry. So definitely that would be much more of a chill out than there's nothing for you to be warned or worried about, I don't think. It's just your pace. Just slow your pace down a little bit. And Aquarius, chill out or be careful. You need to be careful. This is the sorrow card, the grieving card. You need to take a bit of a break. You might have some built up emotions or grief in your life that you're not really letting yourself feel fully. So you need some rest. You need some time probably to yourself. So it's not a careful message like anything's going to come harm you or someone's going to lose, you're going to lose somebody. It's not the feeling I get. This feels like an older, a loss, a grief that you haven't really processed yet. And so that would be to chill and take some time and feel it out. Let yourself express it. And Pisces, chill or be careful. And yours would be sort of a careful. Don't let anybody walk all over you, take advantage of your good nature, say crap about you. You know, this is a card of standing up for yourself, standing up for your boundaries. So the careful, it doesn't mean like, oh no, there's a dangerous person around you, but just watch out for disrespect. You know, watch for, it's like, excuse me, that wasn't appropriate, or I'm sorry, I don't like that. Just like little boundaries like that. I don't see major. So, but there you will need to be conscious of more self-respect and taking action for your own self-respect. So, my friends, that concludes our new moon chart. Now, once again, I would love it if you'd come to my workshop and you can see where is Pluto going to hit your chart for the next many years. Where is Saturn going to touch your chart, and where is Mars going to touch your chart? Because as you could see with this analysis, how many things can happen when the planets shift to different places and signs and hit different things in our charts. So we'll be looking at your individual charts in the workshop. So please sign up and tell people, and share this video if you like. And hopefully I shall see you Thursday, the 23rd, at 7 p.m. Eastern.